gonna bring in a gentleman that I accused at one time of buying subs and buying views and stuff, and he kept trying to explain to me about the shorts. I would not listen, and then when I started listening, I said to myself, "I'll be a son of a gun." Tom was telling the truth, and I, I apologize. I called you up, Tom, and I apologized to you, didn't I?
Yeah, I don't know why you're
And
wearing a San Fran hat, but otherwise we're all good.
oh, I don't. Ever since I put San Francisco hat on, they've lost three straight.
Oh.
Okay, yeah. I'm just wearing it as a new hat. My sister got it for my birthday, so I said, "What the heck?" But Tom, I call this the Lavecchia formula because I consider you the person that really broke this code a long time ago. And explain to us what the shorts code does when you, okay, TikTok right now, YouTube, Google is going after TikTok's business. Is that correct?
Correct. TikTok came in and swooped a lot of the younger people, hence a lot of the short form content. So the pendulum went way to TikTok, and YouTube started losing revenue. So the shorts was the answer to TikTok.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm sorry, you.
Yeah, and then you notice too that Facebook did the same thing with Instagram with Reels, right? It knows
That's correct.
In that kind of less than a minute as well, or something.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, and so first of all, we're going to put the rest, the subscribers things. I'm going to show actual evidence how many subscribers we picked up in the last 90 days. It's down to the T, because if people are on here going to make accusations against people, have your facts straight. But here's what we're doing today. We're revealing the secret formula. And if people listen to our formula, we don't mind. We want to help everybody. We want everybody. There's no such thing as competition in here. If you put up good shorts, people are going to watch them. Isn't that correct, Tom?
Yeah, I mean, we say this all the time. There needs to be a forum for best practices. You're doing something better than I am. I'm doing something maybe more productive than you are. The whole idea is have a community and share ideas and share those best practices.
Okay, so here's the evidence on how important it is to do shorts and put them up if you want to build your channel. Okay, so this is for the last 90 days, Tom.
Yes.
If we were going to buy subs, they wouldn't appear here, would they?
No, because if you were to buy subs, it should theoretically enter through the main channel, or you would skew them towards maybe one video to buy views and subs. So it would skew heavily on a regular video, or the main channel would be the entrance point. But looking at this, if you're at 3,700 new subs, let's say the must-see Sammy video, you got 337. They're all accounted for there, therefore not buying any subscribers.
And we have three shorts that are well over 100,000. One of them is the must-see Sammy Gravano.
Correct.
It's pushing. It's got 160,000 right now.
Yeah. Wow.
And we have picked up 300, and this is 337 subs from that. Yeah, then we have Mike Tyson KO's Larry Holmes.
Yep.
Right in the last 3 months, it's got more than this, but it's picked up 104,000.
Yep.
With impressions, it's got 234,000 impressions. We picked up more subscribers from that video than any video we got.
Well, Lee, really quick too. What's also impressive, not to, I'm going to geek out a little bit, is the impressions are 7.2 million. That means it reached about over 7 million eyeballs, and of those, 7.3% opted to engage, like actually looked at it or liked it or watched it, and that's a pretty high, what they call CTR, click-through rate. It's a pretty high CTR, so nice work there.
Then we got Anthony Ruggiano. I set up my brother-in-law in 1988, and we killed him. It's over 100,000, but since in the last 3 months, it's gotten 83,000 views. Yeah. It's picked 254 subscribers, and on top here, people, how can I get to how many viewers we picked up altogether, Tom?
The views on the top, 1.7 million on top in the purple column.
Okay, right there.
The graph is there, but it's summarized there on the where it says total. on the views, just roughly 1.8 million views over 90 days.
And we picked up 3,734 subs in the last 3 months. And
Lee,
that
do you mind, Lee? Can you hit compare to? Hit compare to. It's at top
compare.
right. Yeah, click that.
Okay.
Unlock. Oh, look at you with the protection. I like it. Hit unlock if you don't mind. Oh, be careful there. We don't want to know your password.
Okay.
What do you worry about, hackers? All right.
Yeah. I got also. If you get to hack me, you're good.
Exactly.
Okay.
I like or a lot. Do period over period.
Period over period.
So looking at the previous 90 days, you almost did three times the amount of views. Actually, yeah,
Yes.
The amount of views.
Yes, and I like to. I also got to thank Gerard for punching me in the temple. That was massive. A matter of fact, I'm thinking about going out there and getting punched in the temple again sometime soon. I'm kidding about that. Next time I might get shot in the temple, so I'll stay here. But you also have to have moments in your channel, Tom.
Yeah.
And we've had moments here lately. The Gravano thing. Sammy, okay. Tom, we're just regular Joes here. And in 2 of the last 3 shows Sammy has done, he has mentioned my name. How hard is it to get Sammy Gravano to mention anybody's name on his channel?
I mean, I don't really watch the show regularly. I don't think he proactively does shout outs. I think he wants to get paid for that. But you and I know sometimes it sounds negative, but it could be positive too. It's called clout chasing.
It is positive.
It's called clout chasing. You kind of, he's got a lot of clout. You kind of either pay him or ruffle his feathers or try to collaborate. You tend to ruffle his feathers. He shouts you out. And then you get this Streisand effect, which is, Barbara Streisand had an unflattering photo of her. Nobody thought about it. The New York Times, she sued them to prevent it. Because she sued them, it drew a lot of attention to it. And more people looked at it than before because she drew attention to it. So what he's doing is Lee Cool's a jerk or whatever he's saying is a Streisand effect. There's probably a lot of people coming over to your channel to check you out.
Yes. The greatest line that he said about me, he said, Lee Cole, we smacked Lee Cole around and he cried like a little bitch.
Interesting.
We got hit. And then this week, once again, he mentions me again because I put up a short he didn't like. He mentions the short, and he says that I shouldn't have put it up. Well, I disagree with him.
I'll tell you this much. I guess you can call it this is not part of the Lavecchia formula, but you're doing kind of an antagonist strategy, going after bigger accounts, antagonizing them a little bit. They're biting, and listen, if that's your strategy and it's working, I salute.
My strategy, Tom, here's my strategy. Yeah. I started this show off, and when I first originally started this show off, we had the attitude we were going to interview anybody.
Yeah.
After I seen the look in Sammy's eyes, I realized exactly what my opinion is on informants. These are very evil men. Yeah. And at that point, James and I talked about it. We are going to do our show a certain way, and that's respect to you. But we're going to announce something right now. Tomorrow night at 9:00, Tom Lavecchia is going to have a friendly debate with Angel Gotti on her channel live, 9:00.
Pretty interesting.
And we're going to advertise on our channel. Angel's going to do here, and we got something for you to put up. And I think that we need this because of the fact that you have a business format and you run it a certain way. Yeah. Like me, you're villainized for the things you do. And we have to figure out whether we deserve to be villainized or whether we deserve to run our platforms as businesses. We decided how we're going to do it. Yeah. We're not going to have informants. You decided that you're going to. Tom, you were here putting this business together before I was. You had a certain business.
I have a podcast since 2016, and the only reason why I kind of skewed towards the mob stuff was it tended to do better on my channel, and then kind of mob genre kind of took off. So it made sense. And I did a show with a former informant, had a good run. We disbanded 2 years ago. I get reminded of it every day, but it's been gone a long time ago. I've succeeded despite that. And it's just a small portion of my business and what I do, but it gives me the most headaches. So that I will say.
And he seceded, but he seceded too.
Yeah, it worked out for both.
You're both doing fine. People think that you're just. People think that when you put up an interview and they see your numbers, that's all. They don't realize there's more going on behind that video, don't they?
I'll give you what I did was, and I usually get paid for this, but I'll share some more pearls, if you will. So the first is my library, right? My library. I had to throw that in. Gets about 400,000 views a month. Just if I do nothing or do a little bit. So I'm not reliant on the front end of my current interviews. I have like an engine behind it.
Yeah.
Same here.
The Sammy video, respect, and I don't like them. We'll do 200 videos a week. The Pablo Escobar wife video, I'll do 500, let's say in a week. The Totorina's son will do another 300. I'll get a pop in Italy or if something's going on. So I have like kind of like what they call evergreen content that delivers it no matter what, right? When I do a new show, and my new numbers are not great, to be respectful, to be candid, because I moved my stuff to Mobsters Inc. and I do regular content. I interviewed the president of Hard Rock Casino in Atlantic City, a good business guy to talk to. I did some authors. I did a guy who did the Soprano Locations, and he's also, I don't know if you saw White Lotus, the best show out there right now, in my opinion. He's the executive producer of White Lotus. So, like, these are important people that respectfully are great conversations and great content, but don't do well on my channel. But I can afford to do that because I have that engine of such great views that I'm still making money passively. And over time, my new content will take off as I kind of reformat. That's what I'm trying to do. To give some kind of my strategy, some people treat this as a service-based business, which means, hey, give me a donation, or hey, give me a sponsorship, or whatever that is. And that's not a wrong thing. It's not a bad thing. I have sponsors, so it makes it easier. So that's part of it. But when it's service-based, it's transactional. I prefer to set this up as an asset-based business, meaning I want to do a short. I want to set it out there, and I want it to live for as long as it's going to live. I want to do a video, put it out there. I want to cut up that video and make short videos, hence creating a portfolio of assets that are out there living, producing money. So I'm not reliant on donations. Even though I have sponsorships, I'm not relying on sponsorships. I'm working an asset-based business versus working a service-based business, and it's been paying off.
And Tom, what you're saying, people have to understand that if you're going to have a business, say this is our business.
Yeah.
Say James and I, if James and I decided to sell our business, the people coming along, the first thing they're going to say is, how much views is he getting off his library?
That's correct. That's correct.
Because they want to know that people are they want to see your product, and they've been watching your product. Most of our business is done off our library, and most of you, and you do a lot off your library. And James and I are learning all this, right, James?
Yeah, and that's something that's interesting is that, there's a video, an interview you did with Bill Cutolo, and then there was another one with John Alight that you talked to with him, and those were videos from 2 years ago. One was over a year ago, another's 2 years, and those are still bringing in views and subs and comments. It's amazing because I have access to studio, just like and we'll see these comments and interviews from folks. I mean, comments and shares and likes from 2 years ago coming now, so it's evergreen.
Yeah, and we are a legal. James and I are a legal partnership.
Nice. Well, just to give you so what'll happen is, again, an asset business versus service-based business, right? So what'll happen is if somebody wants to buy your channel tomorrow, okay, if you get your money, let's say from donations, right, and you get money from, let's say, sponsorships that are specific to you, not your group, when you go to sell your business, it's worthless because once you remove yourself as talent, there's no equity, right?
Mhm.
You might make less money now than maybe somebody who gets donations, but the value or the asset is worth
Yes.
a lot more because I'll give an example. People are like, well, why did you get out of Armchair MBA and make it New Theory Podcast? Armchair MBA was about me. I don't want it to be about me. I want it to be about my guests, but more importantly, about my channel. Again, creating an asset that is going to pay off. The whole idea of building wealth and building equity is by having assets, not service based. Service based is transactional, it goes
Yeah.
away in a dime, versus by
Mhm.
having something that's proprietary or protected. Like, for example, Mobsters Inc. I actually applied for a trademark. I'm waiting any day, God willing, for that to be approved. So once that's approved, I can now build that up, and the real money is going to be when I exit.
Right.
Well, you can't get Mob Inc. I can guarantee you that, Tom.
No, but I was surprised Mobsters Inc. was available, and my niece is a patent attorney. We did all the paperwork, we answered their questions, and I'm waiting any day to get the patent.
Did you know we have Mob Inc.
You own Mob Inc. Really?
as a corporation name? Yes.
Wow. Did you patent it?
Yeah, we got.
You got
How,
a patent?
how we got that? We were shocked. And how long ago did we get that,
Oh,
James?
are you talking about Real Mob LLC?
No, I'm talking about our business name.
Real Mob LLC is our business
No,
name.
no, Real Mob Inc. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we got that, and we got the website because
Real
that's what
Mob
we
Inc.
wanted.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
Inc. Yeah. That's no.
And then now
Okay,
you
I'm going to show you something.
you go.
I'm sorry. I'm going to show you something. A guy I personally don't care for, but he's a smart guy, and I'm not going to say he's not a smart guy because Jeff Nadeau is. He cracked the code about. He cracked the code. If you okay, first of all, so people say, Lee, somebody questioned why we only get 100 views at a time. It looks like we're buying them because here's how YouTube does it. Once you get to 10,000, they count them by 100.
Correct.
Once you get to 100,000, they count them by 1,000.
Yeah.
And once you get to 1,000,000, they count them by 10,000.
Yeah.
So that's why. So
But
if you have a show,
if you see a big jump, I guess that's Jeff's numbers. Jeff's in media. He's been in media for years. He knows what he's doing. Him and I have not talked about strategy. Maybe he picked up on some things I've done. I maybe picked up on some things that he's done. But it looks like he's employing a short strategy. And again,
yes,
reiterating, doesn't matter if you like a person or doesn't like a person. Facts
Yes.
don't have feelings. And the bottom line,
yes.
those people that pivoted to shorts are doing better than those that don't in terms of views.
And what did Jeff do? Jeff got a $2.5 million, $2.5 million view short about a week ago. And take a look at this, just by looking at this. And this is why I'm saying, so if you're going to question why ours, I mean, according to this, Jeff picked up 1.5 thousand subs yesterday, 1.3 the day before that, 1.6. So the only thing you got to do is go to Jeff's shorts and see whether does it make sense?
And you could do it in 2 seconds. You go to shorts
And
on desktop, you hit popular, and it looks like he broke out. There's 700,000 views.
He broke out.
And people could say, well, views, they pay less. They do pay less for short views, but it still is a subscriber magnet, a subscribing magnet. So
yes, and not only that, it's a volume-based money maker. Where it's like Walmart. You're not going to make as much.
Correct.
But if we put out 3 subs a day. I mean, 3 shorts a day. That's okay. We do 100 a month, let's say.
Yeah.
So 100 a month. If you get a couple of those that break out, you're making decent money.
Well, on top of that, you get subscribers and maybe again, you might give you thanks. Again, I'm not big on donations, but they might give you thanks. But also now it makes it easier to get sponsorships. Anything over 10,000, you could start looking for sponsorships. And I probably make about half of my money on sponsorships. I'm actually just signed on New York Life as a sponsor, so which is a pretty big one for us. So the sponsorships help. The AdSense helps. I get donations all the time. I don't ask for them usually, but sometimes I get them. It helps my editing and augment expenses on the channel. I did want to share one more thing with you. There is a big change on the short front. You can now add other links to other videos on shorts. Were you guys aware of that?
Yeah, we just started doing that yesterday, or we were doing that. Like, we did a short on um, Joey Merlino, and so we actually put the link to the full video we did.
Bingo. So now the knock on shorts was that you looked at shorts and like, well, where's that interview or where's whatever? You can
Yeah.
now link it to any other video. Ideally, you want to link it, you want to do a short and then link it to that relevant video that
Yes.
drives traffic. So let's say Jeff, for example, that's 700,000 views from shorts that day. If 1% click through, he gets 7,000 more views on his higher AdSense,
Right.
which he makes some good money on.
Right.
And so, you know, once again, Jeff and Do and I think different, but you did it, Jeff. You know what? I'm going to look at you and see what you're doing, whether you like it or not. I'm going to look at Tom.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm going to look at, and people, we're a smaller show. If you want to look at us, you're more than welcome. If you want to email us and ask us, we want everybody to use this secret formula because that's what it is. But once you break that code and start making these shorts, but make sure you put up regular shows too. We put up 3-4 regular shows. We don't get the numbers we used to get on them because shorts are taking a little bit out of the algorithm, but we're willing to deal with that.
There's three more quick points. Number one, some people are like, well, you're going to saturate your group, right? Meaning, if I do a lot of shorts, am I going to turn off my regular viewers? The algorithm for shorts is different than the algorithm for your regular subscribers. Now,
exactly.
James probably popped up. I probably popped up my regular stuff because he's a subscriber and it makes sense. If he's into the mob stuff or people that I interviewed, it'll come up for shorts from my channel, but it's mutually exclusive. They have not, so you can do as much as you want on shorts. You can release as many videos as you want. They don't cross pollinate unless you get subscribers from it. But otherwise, they have nothing to they have nothing to do with the other.
But one thing I was reading, Tom, is if you take your shorts and leave them in the same niche as your videos, it does help.
The idea is that
a lot of people
it should be synergistic, meaning 1 + 1 = 3. If you're doing basket weaving and you're doing great basket weaving shorts, and now with a link to your you'll not only pick up a sub, but you'll also get more views off of the link. So yeah, it is accretive. It is synergistic.
Tom, I'd like to ask you a question. Do you feel like anybody that comes on here and follows the formula that just say you're starting a new channel, what would your advice be to the guy starting a new channel that says, you know what? I want to turn this channel within a year and I want to start doing the shorts. I want to use their formula. What would your advice be to that new channel starting?
So generally, and James has probably been doing this, and I've been watching James, so nice work, probably for about 3-4 weeks at a more meaningful level. You create what is called pillar content. Pillar content is your Bill Catolo interview, your interview with whoever big interview you do, right? So once you have that pillar content, you create the sub content, which could be sound bites or called hot takes from the interview from Bill, or your analysis and your voiceover using James, maybe both, maybe other footage of Bill out there on other media with your voice, and all this little mini content is subordinate to the pillar content. So you create the pillar content, which doesn't have to be a lot. It could be 3-4 pieces a month, and then the pillar content or the sub content you create in shorts. But the beautiful thing about it is when you create, and James knows this, once you have a short, you could put it on YouTube Shorts, you could put it on Instagram Reels, you could put it on TikTok, and you could also put on Facebook stories and Reels as well. So now
and that's what we're just, and that's what, and that's what we're just starting. See, we haven't gotten, us as a show, we haven't gotten into that other social marketing. We're doing that now. So we got, you know, this is an exciting thing to do. If people want a business and you're sitting at home and you're like, what am I going to do for a business? This whole thing on YouTube is an exciting thing, people.
Well,
Get involved.
I'm going to give you another pearl. Okay. So the hottest thing right now, shorts is just a medium, but the hottest thing right now is called YouTube automation. Similar to what James is doing on the shorts. It's actually remove the faces, right? Remove the hosts, talk about Nikki Scarfo for 3 minutes, use Chat GPT or AI to write up a script in 3 seconds. You read the script audio, you get some B-roll in CapCut. You have your 3-minute video, and you post and you set it and forget it. It gets us 10,000 views. You make $50. Then you do it again, and again, and you do what is called YouTube automation, where it's getting away from the long form interviews and it's going more towards the short form. And some people are going one step further. They're using AI voices. They're not even using their own voices. So now you have an AI voice that reads an AI script. It gets edited. You edit yourself. James, great editor. And we're actually getting out of, and that's like kind of pivot for me because I'm a big interview guy, but it's getting away from that. And YouTube automation seems to be, and people are like, no, never, never, never. And then you're like, oh, do you follow this guy? I love that guy, but you never saw his face, right? So there's certain channels that are doing YouTube automation, and that's kind of the next, I guess, golden opportunity.
AI though, and so I have mixed feelings on AI just because it's going to. It's not going away. It's going to continue to grow and explode, which it's doing now. But the thing is, that's part of what we're doing as a brand, as well as we're experimenting with what works, what doesn't. So we started using AI voices. So I have one of the I could do hundreds of different AI voices. So we did a few shorts and videos with it, and it was pretty good. But what we found was that people, at least our market, the people that view it, would rather hear my voice or Lee's voice on the shorts rather than the AI. So we stopped using AI.
I'm sorry, Tom. I called up James one day and I said, James, use your voice. James has a very good voice, I think, when he describes things. Instead of and he started doing that. And the minute he started doing that, I noticed that we were getting more and more on our shorts because it's like they're developing a relationship with James.
James,
people are listening.
Agreed. So, James, do you use AI for the scripts?
No, I create my own because the problem I have, and I'm real fast, meaning I can create a script really fast. My problem with AI scripts are that many times they're too general, and the other thing is that they can have mistakes. I'm not happy with the quality of AI generated scripts for the most part. And what I find is to get an AI script to the level that I like, I could do it quicker on my own.
Well, you can train AI. You can say, I want you
with machine learning, sure.
I want you to write the script as an expert in the following way. See, AI is not failing us. It's our prompting.
Oh, the prompts. Yeah, the prompts.
Number two, have you tried Google Bard yet?
I haven't tried that. I've tried Chat GPT. I have the paid version, which is the 4.5 version, and then also use another one that's Perplexity, which is basically it's not necessarily that, but it's got another engine that's got Chat GPT, and then not Merlin, it's another one. That's Claude.
And people have to understand that you have to pay money to make money, especially in this industry, because there's so many type of different apps that I don't even know half the apps that James has. James will, to this day, I don't know half the apps he has.
We pay money like StreamYard. We don't go with the free version of it. We pay the amount each month. We have to pay for
$70 a month. We pay $70 a month just for StreamYard because we have to have a larger storage, and we like to keep some stuff stored there.
Yeah, exactly.
And so you got to pay we pay for our websites. I mean, you have to pay money. You're not going to make money in the first year, second year. But once you do something and you get something viral, all of a sudden you start making money.
Also, you have to look at, you got to look at like the time you put in and then the relative time, right?
Right. Your return on investment.
Yeah. The absolute time is, I'll give you an example. Respectfully, I could not afford to do YouTube full time. Doesn't because I have the
Right.
talent, doesn't mean I have the resources, doesn't mean I have the desire. The challenge is I got 4 kids and 4 cats. So right off the bat is, I wake up and I'm looking at like 15,000 staring me in the face. I'm like, yo, okay, where do I get this from? Right. So here's my point. Um, because I have a high expense structure and I have other stuff that makes me a lot more money doing a lot less, that
Right.
makes sense, right? So even if I put in 160 hours a month, I'm not going to make the money I make doing what I do, my marketing agency and my magazine, right?
Right.
Now, however, on a relative basis, I can make, let's say, 2,000 a month on YouTube, but I'm only spending probably about 10 hours a month, which I'm spending now. If you notice, I haven't been doing as many shows. If you notice, I haven't been out and about as much. I've been, off the radar because I have my busy with my personal life. My agency took off, my magazine took off. So I'm like, what? I'm still willing to commit to this YouTube thing, but on a relative basis, I try to make 150 to $200 an hour. And if I go under that, doesn't mean I'm losing money, but I'm better off doing something else. So
Right.
that's what I try to find. And as I start making more money per hour, like if I'm making $400 per hour on YouTube, now it makes sense for me to put more hours in, so I'm making some really good money. But I'm probably doing about 10 hours a month, and I'm probably making about 2,000 a month on YouTube, all in.
Hey, listen, and another thing too, that when we talk about it, um, eh, building a business like this, it's like I compared. What we're building right now is a house with a strong foundation. When you're collecting donations, you don't have a strong foundation, because if the economy crashes, you better have a. We know one thing: when the economy crashes, it's like COVID. People run to entertainment, and if the economy crashes, and YouTube knows this, Google knows this, people are going to miss, and they're going to start watching more and more of this stuff, but they're not going to be donating personally because they don't have the money.
Well,
So we have to make our money off of commercials,
yeah.
off of selling people's products,
Yes.
and
Hold on. I agree for the most part, but there's a part I disagree. Okay. So for the most part, like I talked about earlier, me personally, it makes sense to have an asset-based business, create assets, grow assets, and they should outlive you, right? And
Mhm.
that's for a believer in that. I might make less than other people on here, but I also spend a fractional amount of time. Right now, if you go the donation route or the subscriber donation route, there's nothing wrong with it. However,
no,
though,
definitely not.
however, though, is you're a solopreneur, which means okay, low overhead, a lot of money, you're making great money, you have a good lifestyle. There's nothing wrong with that. However, in business, you either need profits or growth. It's hard to do both. You find me any business, Uber was growing but not profitable, and I know a lot
Right.
of businesses that are profitable, like even Microsoft, but believe it or not, to this day, is actually not growing because they just make a lot of money off of cloud and whatever. My
Right.
point being is, my recommendation is if you are doing a service-based business and you are getting a lot of donations, you're going to want to reinvest in your business to build that foundation you're talking about. If you're just taking that money and using it to live and even save and not putting it back into your in business and investing, then you could have a short-lived opportunity.
And there's a lot of people on YouTube that are doing that. But you know what? I don't blame them. They're making good money. Some people say, okay, if my show ends, it ends. At least I'm making as much money as I can now. If that's your attitude, it's fine and good. That's
Yeah.
your attitude.
It's
You
a free
know,
market.
Well,
a
that's
lot of
what.
people. I'm sorry, James.
No, I said that I think that's the thing, that the bottom line on this is that there's many different ways to be able to achieve success on YouTube. First, you've got to identify what success looks like for you. And so, is it the front end cash donations? If you're able to do that and that's what your goals are, and
Yeah.
you're doing what, then go ahead and do that. But if you want to have more of a asset based business like what you do, and what we're trying to do is that, you approach that differently, and you realize that, that sometimes you forego some of the short term profits or revenue so that you can have a longer and larger long term profit and revenue. So that's
Here, people.